Now, we also promised you that in this session, we'd help you save money whilst you're looking for love. We're all aware that in the UK, we're currently having a cost of living crisis, but we don't want to turn that into a cost of loving crisis. And it can sometimes be expensive to find love. A recent survey, this is fascinating, a recent survey found that the average dater spends £1,349 a year on dating. I don't know where they came up with that figure from, but £1,349 a year on dating, which means that the energy crisis has just swallowed up your dating allowance. We're going to talk about how you can reduce that spend massively, but still find your happy ever after. We're going to do that in a minute, but first, we want to know your answers to our second survey question, please, which is, do you spend more than £50 on a first date? Okay, Kate, tell us more about saving money whilst everybody's answering that.
So how do you find love on a budget? You might start thinking initially about going to the free dating websites and apps. And of course you can, but personally, I found when I was doing online dating that there's no such thing really as a free dating website or app. You can search for people, sometimes you can communicate for free, but they all offer upgrades, and some of the upgrades are really kind of limiting the experience that you get before you spent any money. So for example, on some of the free ones, you can't set many filters for who you're looking for unless you pay for that feature, which basically means you have to sort of attract the whole world to you unless you want to pay, which I didn't like that. Or you can sometimes be restricted in the number of messages you can send or the profiles that you can view. Ourtime is a subscription site, but I, with all my many husbands, always use subscription sites, and this is why I really like them. If you're on a subscription site like Ourtime where you have to pay, then everyone else on there has had to pay too, and which generally tells you that they're committed. They're not people just want to waste your time, don't generally waste money at the same time. So you're gonna cut down on the number of people that are just there looking for something in a sort of airy-fairy way. You've got people that have actually gone through the process and put their money where their mouth is. I also found that, well, one of the brilliant things about Ourtime is Ourtime has actually got a feature that I have calculated with my quick maths will save you £300 a year.
Ooh, that sounds good. Tell us more.
Right.
Seriously.
Video dating can save you £300 a year. Okay, so how I've worked that out with my quick maths, my maths is terrible, so it probably adds up like to £1,000. Research says singles each year go out on 6 dates on average when they know immediately that they don't want to see each other again. And as the average spend on one date is £47.50, that's almost £300 a year that people are wasting on people that they don't want to see again. So video dating, I believe, is the answer to this economic crisis, because video dating lets you get such a feel for someone's personality, their banter, their conversation skills. Yeah. And you're doing that in the comfort of your own home. You know, you've got your like dressy top on, you've got your PJ bottoms on, and it hasn't cost you anything more than just your subscription.
Fantastic tip. Brilliant. And we've got loads of tips for video dates in another video in this series called Get Ready for Your Close-Up. So do take a look at that for some really valuable advice from Kate.
But you don't have to initially spend money on Ourtime, because it's got some brilliant things that you can do at the beginning for free, just to cheer you up and find. Let me just read what I've written down, because when I start going like this, it all goes wrong. So on Ourtime, it's completely free to sign up, to create a profile, and to look at matches who live in your area. And it's also free to watch our live coaching advice. Creating a profile is a brilliant way to get started, because it lets you see immediately that there are other single people living near you. Because I think one of the worst things about being single, especially over 50, is you start with that voice in your head that we've already spoken about. That voice in your head tells you you're the only person, like you're the last single person in the village, that there's nobody else. As soon as you create that free profile and start searching for people near you, you realise there are hundreds, absolutely hundreds. And that shot of optimism, it's amazing. It really cheers you up.
Okay, So when you've met your matches, Kate, how can you save money on the dates themselves? How do you go on a low-cost date without appearing really stingy?
So, in the interest of scientific research, I ran a poll online before this talk to see if one of the things that people could do on a first date to save money was to use a coupon or a voucher.
No.
Well, I thought, thriftiness, if times are tight,
Nobody
could you
would
just
use that.
take a little?
No.
Right. So Julie is speaking for women everywhere, because 100% of the women that answered my poll said absolutely 100% no.
No.
You cannot use vouchers on a first date. But 100%,
So no.
100% of the men said, yeah, why not? I think that's like a sensible idea.
Are you serious?
Seriously, promise. Absolutely promise.
Ladies, get cutting out those coupons. That is hilarious. I mean, okay, so how can you cut the cost if you don't want to use a coupon?
Right. You can get away with cheap date ideas as long as they're thoughtful and tailored to the person that you're asking out on a date. And don't forget, this is what online dating is brilliant for, because online dating is the only time when you have the opportunity to read about someone and exactly what they really like doing. So when you're looking at their profile, look for the things like their favorite cuisines, if they like live music, what bands, what films are they into, all these kind of things. You can use that to then offer them to suggest a date idea that's kind of inexpensive but perfect for them. So it feels really thoughtful.
Really targeted
Yeah,
at
to them, because they're not going to say, I'm sorry, but that live cinema event showing my very favourite directors, showcase of the last 20 years, I've noticed it only costs £8. I don't think that's enough. They're going to think, oh my God, you really know me. That's like the coolest thing. That would work, wouldn't it?
Yeah, totally work.
And no voucher. So ladies, you'll be happy. Well, the men are probably thinking £8, that's a bit wasteful. So don't offer a free date like going for a walk. And men, I'm talking to you, never ask a woman out on like a walk. Guess if you've got dogs.
No, I'd love that.
Julie's really outdoorsy.
I love walking.
Maybe I'm just talking for the frizzy-haired women of Britain, but I could not have a date that's going for a walk. I could.
Really?
Well, I would think, hang on, I'm in the middle of nowhere with a man I don't know very well.
That's a good point.
First dates, public places, always.
Yeah.
So, if it comes to husband number 4, I want like
cheeky. So cheeky.
Yeah, but don't do it, because it doesn't feel safe. You don't look your best. The clothes that you would go walking your dog are not necessarily your best first date outfit.
Yeah, but men, it's been proven that men actually prefer talking when they're kind of not looking at you all the time.
Men do
relax more.
Men open up when you're side by side, much more than in that kind of interrogation position.
Exactly.
But we also know that men probably like taking on a walk across a park to use a coupon.
Exactly.
So how much can we really trust this kind of research?
Okay.
Yeah, so date in public places, don't do the walk thing, but instead do like a really cool, fun venue, like an art gallery, or find a comedian that's going on tour. Like if they're going on tour, they often do those little gigs where they're trying out their material, something like that. If someone said that they really like comedy in their profile, take them along to like a showcase like that. They'd be really impressed. And then, walk together side by side, and men will open up.
Museums might be boring to some, but I find them fascinating.
And also, it takes all the pressure off. If you go somewhere really interesting on a first date, you don't find yourself asking the same kind of heavy questions like, so why did your marriage end? Or what do you think happens to us after we die?
Exactly.
You can't, because you're thinking, look at that picture. Do you like that picture? Look at that statue. I think that's really cool.
Or something like the Museum of Childhood, Victoria and Albert Museum of Childhood. You end up talking about what life was like as a kid, or the things you ate, the
things
you grew up, you liked.
They're all in there,
they're fun,
Right, don't do dinner. I mean, well, we're talking about saving money, so don't do dinner with your coupon or your voucher, because it's too expensive and it's too long. And like we said, there is a chance that you will go on a date with someone and you'll know immediately that they're not the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, and it's going to be hard for you just to get through the starter. So instead of doing dinner, just go for coffee, because there was more research. We are full of research tonight.
We're full of it.
There's more research that said that in England, most singles' perfect first date was a 90-minute coffee shop date. And you can what you do, if you want to do it cheaply with no one knowing, you meet them outside, you go in, you let them go and sit down, and you offer to buy them a coffee, then you go up there, and then quietly you pay with your voucher, but no one needs to know.
Oh,
I have done that.
You are obsessed with vouchers tonight.
I'm saving money.
What about if a guy offers to cook for you at his home?
We see right through that, don't we? I mean, in my experience, my torturous experience that, again, you hear about in chapter 3, it was always on the 4th date that a man would say, Kate, would you like to come round and I'll cook you dinner? But I kind of think, am I cynical? I always felt that he was offering that because, you know, his kitchen was in the same building as his bedroom. And it was like, I just felt it was a bit of a smooth move.
That it was too soon, a 4th date was too soon for that level of intimacy?
I was worried that dinner wasn't the only thing that was on the menu.
Okie doke.
Push it that way.
Okay.
Also, don't spend too much money getting ready for it. Did you just go? Don't spend too much money getting ready for the first date. We have found that an average that people spend on their appearance for the first date is £60.45p. So that would be me with my fake tan. That would be you with your dog walking outfit. I don't know. That'd be you in your, like, a lovely new top. People are spending that on getting ready.
Yeah. So probably a new top.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Me, fake tan.
New boots for walking.
Yeah, the dog with the wellies. To reduce that spend, what I was doing when I was online dating was I would stack up a couple of dates. So I would meet someone for a coffee in the morning, and then wearing the same perfect first date outfit that I'd spent all week, you know, perfecting, I would then go on to meet someone for lunch wearing the same outfit. Sometimes I tried having 2 coffee dates in the same day, but seriously, by the second one,
you were wired.
Quite tense and jittery. Yeah.
Oh dear, that is hilarious.
Yes, stack up. So that any money that you're investing in your appearance to look as good as you can on your first date, you're not wasting that on just the one person. You're kind of spreading the load, which is more economical.
Yes. Would you say it's wise, if you are picking a first date outfit and you are splashing out on it, to get a friend to go with you to advise you?
Yes.
Okay.
But I think we talk about this later on. When you're asking a friend's advice in dating, don't ask your... So, like, if I were asking Julie's advice on if should I be wearing this to a first date later on, I would, with all respect, I wouldn't ask you, because if I were wearing this outfit to attract a man, I'd be much better off getting a man's opinion.
Oh, okay. Good point.
Whenever it comes to dating, ask someone who is very similar to the type of person you'd like to attract. Because what we find is women write profiles that attract other women. It's kind of, we write what we like, whereas you need to think about it in the other way.
Okay, good
You know
point.
what I mean?
Right, excellent tips there. But the most important question is, who pays for a first date? Who pays?
I think the man should.
I agree.
I think the man should pay. Also, I know I'm bombarding you with research. I promise the last piece of research. There was some research done that said men are most likely to willingly pay for a first date when they are very physically attracted to the person they're on a date with. So men, I would say, if you go on a first date and suddenly find yourself very resistant of picking up the bill, that's usually your body's way of saying, this isn't the right person for me. And similarly, women, if a man is laying on all the charm on that first date, but then the bill comes and, you know, it just sits there until eventually you have to pay it. The research would say that you're not the one for that person. So you can use it as a screening out technique.
Right, okay. Good tip. Okay, more of your questions now that have come in. And a lot of people are asking how you could tell if someone's genuine. Bernie, who's 62, says, how can I tell if someone is genuine and if they look like their profile photos? And Sarah, who's 51, says, okay, whilst I've got plenty of dating experience, I have no online dating experience, so I'm very naive in this area. How do I attract honest, genuine and authentic men?
The best way to know that the person you're out on a date with is who they say they are is just to meet up with them in person. And I always recommend that you meet up with someone within about 8 messages. So 8, it can be either you've written to them 8 messages if they're not very long, or if the 2 of you have exchanged 8 messages. I'd say that's about the time.
Magic number.
8. that's about the time that you want to meet up with them in person. Because if there's something that the wrong people won't want to do in online dating, someone who's not on there for the right reasons, they will not want to meet you in person, and there will always be a reason and there will always be an excuse. So meeting someone in person is obviously, you can tell what they look like in person immediately, but also it's a really good sign that they're genuine and actually looking for someone. Video dating, of course, comes into this similarly. So if it's not convenient to meet in person straight away, I would still really advise that you do a video call so you can kind of see the banter, but also just see that they are who they say they are. But Sarah, I would add, if you are someone who's had a lot of dating advice, a lot of dating experience, please appreciate and please believe that your instincts will work as well online as they do offline. So whenever you get that little voice telling you, I'm not sure about this person, or this isn't really adding up for me, the safest thing that you can do is to keep all your messaging to the website itself. So keep all your messaging on Ourtime. Don't listen to anyone who says, oh, my membership's running out tomorrow, so can I give you my mobile number and we can just start texting? Because again, if it's someone who's not on the website for the right reasons, the first thing that they will try and do is move all the communications off the site. And that is because when they're communicating via the website can monitor and notice if they're sending out 500 messages a day.
Excellent. So, and scammers always try, don't they, to move communications off site. Fantastic. And if you do think somebody is strange, always report a concern so Ourtime can look into it and they will investigate it. Andrew's 59 and he says, how do I make a better profile so I let people know who I really am?
Again, you can do a lot with your photos. So now, as we're coming up to we just had a change in the season. It's autumnal now. It's coming into Christmas. I would use your photos to paint that lovely picture of what you'd be like on a date. So I want you to have pictures of you kicking through the autumn leaves. Any kind of summery photos of you in your little Speedos, take that down, because all that's saying is I've been here since summer and I haven't met anyone yet. So use your... I feel like really sad, but honestly, Andrew, it will work out. So some nice Christmassy pictures of you. Again, any pictures of you with a pet. If you're really hopeless at choosing photos, again, Andrew, who is the person that you want to attract? Get someone like that to help you screen your photos. But at the end of the day, if you're terrible with the photo thing, there are lots of photo agencies now that specialise in creating dating profile photos. So you can always try one of those and get a proper dating photo shoot done, and then you'll have more photos, then you know what to do with.
Excellent. Thank you, Kate. Right, it's now time for the results of our second survey question, which was, do you spend more than £50 on a first date? 27% of you said yes.
Nice.
73% of you said no, you do not.
Thrifty daters. Get your vouchers out. That's what I say. So, my main advice then on how you can find love without breaking the bank is sign up for a site like Ourtime, where you can use video dating to ensure that you don't go out on loads of people and waste £300 with someone that you're not interested in, and look for fun, inexpensive, thoughtful, tailored dates so you can see as many people as possible without having to break out those coupons.
Fantastic.